What is up, everyone? Welcome to day 1 of 31 daily videos in October. That's right, we are doing daily videos this month to celebrate that time of the year we call Halloween. And we are kicking it off with probably one of the things that people think about the most when they think of the word Halloween, and that is a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern. Now, I don't want to waste any more time. I'm really excited, so let's get started. So I am using the Gen 3 iPad Pro here to create this drawing today, and I'm using Procreate. Now, like I said, I am doing a pumpkin today. What I did to kind of speed things up today, because I really don't want these videos to be much longer than, 20 minutes or so. I already did the sketch beforehand to kind of speed up the process a little bit. If you are a Patreon member, though, you can actually get all of my sketches downloadable on Patreon. Now, that's something that if you go to my Patreon, you get a lot of different things. You can get the final images of these. So every video that we're doing this month, they are going to have a downloadable link or downloadable zip file of every single one of these photos or drawings after I am done. So I think that's kind of cool. So the pen I'm using, or actually all the pens I'm using in here, are all pens that I've made. If you want to get that pen set, that is actually something that my Patreon people get for free. But if you do want to get it, I have a link for it in my Gumroad shop. It's only $2, but if you are a Patreon member, it only costs you $1 to be a Patreon member. So that is something to keep in mind. You get that for free when you sign up. Alright. So I'm using the smooth liner brush here because I'm doing all these big sweeping motions, and I'm trying to keep it looking as clean as I possibly can. And the smooth liner brush, basically what that does is it just kind of, here, I'll kind of show you. So if I'm using the non-streamliner brush, say like my standard liner here, see how I can just, if I have my streamline on, it kind of smooths out everything, so I can't just make the quick lines. It's made to really kind of swoop in. So this is one of my favorite brushes for when I'm doing cartooning. You'll probably see I erase quite often. A lot of it's impulsive. I don't even think about it half the time when I do an erase. And with the iPad Pro on Procreate, all it is a double tap to set that. I think you can macro it to something else, but that's the way I like to do it. Now, I love drawing pumpkins. Pumpkins are actually one of my favorite things to draw because they're fairly simple and they're kind of hard to really screw up as far as cartooning go. I mean, it's really just a big oval, and then you just kind of start making these little pitched lines for the curve. Because pumpkins are not very flat, or at least normally not. And since it's a cartoon, you can always exaggerate just a little bit. One thing I gotta find, hopefully I'll find it by the time I do my next video, is my drawing glove. Normally I use a drawing glove because my hand has already done it a couple of times where it sticks to the screen of the iPad. This will kind of give you a little sense of depth, like everything's kind of coming together at the top. Sometimes you just can't get it just right. Now, personally, when I'm doing cartooning these days, I actually prefer doing it on my iPad. I used to do it on the computer with Photoshop and everything, but I've actually moved away a lot from doing the drawing on Photoshop. I actually really enjoy it more here on Procreate, at least for the illustration side of things. Alright, so we got the sketch of everything done here. Now, I do want to say this whole set of 31 videos for October, I actually didn't come up with this idea. I was trying to figure out something I wanted to do that was different for like Inktober. I've always wanted to do Inktober-based videos for all of you guys, but I don't know. A lot of times I get really bored doing the actual Inktober prompts and stuff like that. So I actually found all this idea from another YouTuber, BJ Dell. I'll leave a link to his channel down below as well. Last year he did something pretty similar to this. So I just kind of wanted to do something like this as well, but I also wanted to give some recognition on where I kind of got this idea from. So now we're going to start throwing in some color. You're going to go in here. Now, to do the color drops, you're going to go to your sketch layer, or your line layer. You're going to tap on it. We're going to go to reference. There it is. So then when I am on this layer, I'm going to drop it below. It is going to reference this line as a border. So now if I drop this in, there we go. Now you can slide back and forth to increase how much strength there is. For the drop, there we go. Basic orange. And then let's do kind of a yellowish color for inside. Actually, we'll do that for the actual middle. And then we'll go to more of an orangish yellow for the inside here. Now I could do the recolor option where after I drop this in, I can kind of click where I want it to go. It never works out the way I want it to though, so I actually avoid that pretty often. I'm probably just doing it wrong, but I've never claimed to be the all-knowing expert on Procreate, but I do love using it. All right, so we got the base colors down. Now one thing that I like to do is, let's see, we're gonna do shadows first. So you're gonna make another layer, and then let's see. Now you can just do, say, like a black. Here, let me get my filler brush to kind of get a big stroke in there. So you can do like a filler brush, and then drop that opacity down to get yourself a shadow. I think I want to do something a little spookier for a color. Let's see. I may need that a little darker. Let's see. Okay, let's see how this looks. No, I think I'm just gonna do the black. Alright, so let's see. I'm gonna have the light source coming kind of from this direction. So, oops. One thing I want to do as well, you're gonna click on here, you're gonna clipping mask. That's going to mask to the layer below that we have put the base colors on. So now when I do this, everything stays within the lines. So, okay, so drop that opacity down. Now the final detail marks and everything I'm going to make inside the eye there, I'm actually going to do a little bit later once I finish doing all the colors, because when I use reference and I drop everything down, it works around every line. So if I have a bunch of little lines inside there, it breaks it up and everything, and then I have to go in and try to hand draw a lot of the shadows and stuff. So I like to do that at the very end to give it just a little pop. Now, if you may have noticed, I had a Happy Halloweeny shirt on at the very beginning. That is a shirt that I made and I am also selling. So the Happy Halloweeny shirt is on sale. I have that linked down below as well. So if that's something you want to check out, make sure you do, because I think it's absolutely adorable. And it represents Halloween, which can't beat that. Okay. So we're going to kind of give it a backlit look here by getting rid of some of these lines. And this gives a nice little illusion of shading without actually, or highlights without actually adding any other colors here. I turn my canvas a lot. It's kind of out of habit. I hope it doesn't drive you guys too nuts. It's just something I've always done. I try not to do it too much, but as I say that, I literally flip it. I'm gonna try not to do it as much. Flip. Yeah, I can't make any promises on that. Alright, shadows are coming together. Like I said, when I have those big sections like that, just take my selection tool. Oop, drop that in. Kind of the drop shadow look, or the backlit look there, and kind of give this, there we go, a little highlight without giving it an actual highlight. All right, I think this is actually really starting to look pretty cool. I'm probably getting pretty close on time here on where I want to be, so I gotta start moving. All right, so let me get a couple more of these. Spots here that deserve a little bit of a highlight. So now we're going to go do highlights. We're going to do the same thing, make a new layer, clipping mask, and go to white. And we're going to make kind of round shapes here. I like doing either pairs of 2s or pairs of 3s when it comes to the highlights, unless it's a really big highlight. Like, I like that. You know what? This one's just gonna be. I try not to go overboard with highlights. It can start to look a little ridiculous if you start putting too many, but it's nice to give it. Especially something like a pumpkin that can definitely be pretty shiny. It's definitely nice to give it a little bit of love with the highlights. I try not to go too often on the edges with the highlights too. I don't know. It's makes it have like a slight bit of realism in a way, when even though you're doing a cartoon, because normally light isn't just on the edge of something, and normally there's lights coming from a bunch of different directions. So I don't know, I don't like putting them right on the edge if I don't have to, but because I don't know, that doesn't look right to me. But that's just me. You do you. If you're drawing along and you want to do the same thing as I am, you can put your highlights wherever you like. I think to add a little more highlight look, I'm going to go back in here and do the kind of the same thing I was doing with the circles up there, but do it in a couple spots over here. So nice little illusion of light. Okay, I am liking the look of that. I need to drop this saturation down quite a bit, or the opacity. There we go. We don't need it that strong, really. Just something to give it a little bit of a look. And now down to my favorite part. We're gonna start adding in the extra lines and stuff. So bring the size up just a little bit, and I'm just gonna do this. And I did this on a separate layer from the original line, so I could just do this, and I can just come in and clean up those lines. And then I can merge them after I'm done doing all these extra lines. This is the nice thing about doing something on the iPad. It is very easy to spin the canvas if you need to kind of get that right angle to do the fast lines like this. Alright, we are getting very close to being done today. Got these last bit of lines I gotta make. We're gonna go in and add some lines throughout the entire piece a little bit too, to kind of bring everything to a good standing point. So you can do quick select, 3-finger scrub, and that gets rid of stuff inside the selected area as well. So I tend to use actually the quick select tool, or the freehand select tool, or whatever you want to call it, pretty often. It's pretty handy and kind of speeding things up sometimes. Okay. Someone's texting me. Got like the world's loudest vibration on my phone for some reason. Okay, so those lines are done. That doesn't mean we are done though. Still got areas like up here. Sometimes I like to make some lines to kind of carry on certain sections to kind of give it a little bit of, I don't know, not texture. I don't know, kind of leads the eye a little bit though. I do that a lot with the ending of a tapered line. I'll make some lines like that. Give it a little bit of life. Oh, am I frozen again? I'm frozen. There we go. Now this is something I do normally on more human-like characters, but I'm gonna give it these almost like Tim Burton kind of scribbles underneath the eyes and around the eyes. It gives it kind of a spooky, fun look to it, so I'm gonna do that with this. Alright, just adding some more lines to give it a little more life. And then we're gonna add one little effect at the end around the mouth and eyes so it's glowing. But I think we are getting very close to being where I like it. Okay, so let's get some lines up here as well. Give it some love. Alright, now I think I don't think I need lines like that. Okay, so now I can merge those. So now that is one line layer by itself. And then, oh god, I'm dying. One last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a layer above everything here. We're gonna go to bright yellow. This is the only time I'm gonna go outside of my brushes here. Oh, too big. We're gonna give a little glow around the mouth here and the eyes. Let's see how this looks. There we go. Got a nice little glow going on there. Now, actually, let's use the same brush. We're gonna go underneath everything. Make it a little bigger. Bring that opacity down. Make one more layer behind that one. Oops. Not two more layers. All right. And drop that down. All right, so there we have it, the finished pumpkin and the completion of the first daily video for October. Make sure if you aren't yet, you subscribe so you don't miss any other videos this month where I'm drawing all these different Halloween themed drawings. And I hope you guys had a lot of fun. And remember, like always, keep drawing, and until next time, bye.